Looking to start up your own clothing brand? In this video, I'm going to discuss the equipment that I currently use to print my own t-shirts from home, as well as take you through the process of making a t-shirt from beginning to end. Let's get started. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Steck of Steck Designs Custom Apparel. Before we actually get started, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background about myself. I've actually been printing t-shirts for 7 years now, just about. It originally started shortly after I graduated high school. I first started printing on using t-shirt transfers that Walmart were setting. There were 8.5 by 11 sheets that I would print out my designs on a little printer at home, and then I would use an iron to iron them on onto t-shirts. Believe it or not, people were still buying them. So shortly afterwards, I got a job working at a sign shop, and the guy that I met there, he was just a humble person. He was great. He was very knowledgeable. He was showing me things that I didn't even know existed. But long story short, he actually told me what I needed to do as far as to get into t-shirts. He had some old equipment around the shop. He would let me use them at no cost. Like I said, I was blessed to meet him. He later donated his heat press to me, and after I stopped working at the sign shop, with his donation, I saved up a little bit of money. Then I started buying my own equipment little by little. I started out very cheap. I looked around, I bought some stuff used, and as time passed, I grew. My customer base grew. So did my knowledge as well as my equipment. Everything just kind of fell into place, and I'm very blessed to have met them. Well, for the very first thing that I want to do is take you guys around my office to show you what I currently use to print. Some of the stuff that I currently have now is a little bit more expensive than what you would typically start with. And now, as I mentioned, when I first started, I had a budget, a very, very, very low budget. So don't be afraid to buy anything used, as long as it's working, that is. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that the equipment you're buying is well worth the investment that you're going to put into it. This is the HPN Signature Series. I'll put the link down in the description where you can actually go and purchase this. One of the reasons why I actually purchased this machine was because of the slide out drawer. It's a very useful feature that not many heat presses have nowadays. This is the US Cutter MH series. It's recommended as a starter. It's actually the second one that I've owned from this same exact company. The first one that I had, for some reason, after having it for about 2 or 3 years, it stopped working. I then purchased this one. It's the exact same model, just a larger size. The first one I had was 28 inches, and this is a 34-inch version of the same exact one. The Roland vs. Studio SignMaker BN20 is probably the most expensive machine that I have in my office. It does everything from full color vinyl to stickers, decals, anything you throw at it, it can probably print on. My computer is a custom built PC. I'll leave the details in the description. This is not a video about my computer, so I don't want to go too much into it, but it's very fast and it does the job. It's great. As you can see, I'm currently sitting in front of my computer. I am going to take you through the steps that I go through whenever I'm making a t-shirt. I have my file open. Today, the shirt that we'll be making is a very simple shirt. It's a font that I've used in the past. I actually don't recall the name because I have thousands and thousands and thousands of fonts downloaded onto my computer. But as I mentioned, it's a very simple shirt that we'll be making. Alright, all it says on there is stay humble. It's a shirt that a lot of people see me wearing. I'm always wearing one. If you follow me on Instagram, chances are you'll see about 10 different posts of me wearing this same exact shirt in different colors. But as you can see, it's very simple. Now, before you actually start cutting your design, something that I recommend for everyone to do is, if you're using Illustrator, that is, simply open up your file and go to View and hit Outline. The shortcut command is Control-Y, but if you remember that, great. If not, Now what that will actually show you is pretty much what the machine will be cutting when you send that design to the machine. Right? If there's any extra marks or any extra cuts that the machine will make, you can see it in your design. Now I zoomed in here. This is something that I've actually haven't noticed, but it's just a little small mark in the font here. The chances are it's probably because that font had some weird edges, so somehow that mark got made. So I'll simply delete it. The cutter has its own software that it comes with, which is what I've actually been using since I made the purchase. The name of that software is called Sure Cuts a Lot 3. It was at a different version when I first started using it. Right? So I have the little software. It's launched. I'll then import my design. Alright? Remember what I mentioned about outline. This is what the software currently sees. This is what it's prepared to cut, is the outline of the design. Now before you actually bring your design into here, be sure to go into Illustrator or whichever software you're using. See if they have an option to view the outline. So in Illustrator it's view, and you click on outline. What you see is going to be what the machine cuts. The image is cut into reverse. So now most vinyl is 15 inches wide, but some places like Michael's will sell vinyl at 12 inches. So I'll make this say 11 inches even, and I'm actually going to print 2. My pressure is currently at 0 grams. Now this type of vinyl that I'm going to be using today, I know that 170 grams is a good pressure point. So I'm going to simply increase the pressure. Now I always leave the speed at the lowest possible. Alright guys, we are going to load our vinyl. Now this is actually what the design is going to look like. The images are printed in reverse, so this is going to be the side that we actually cut on. Bring the machine to your origin point, which is simply a fancy way of saying where you want it to start cutting, and set our origin point, and now we're ready to cut. We go back into our software, our Sure Cuts a Lot software, and simply hit cut because we already have our design set up. Alright guys, as you can see, I did change my shirt, and the reason for this is a business where you try to save as much as possible, whether it's money, time, equipment, or even t-shirts. Now the t-shirt I was wearing was a blank t-shirt, so it was actually a brand new t-shirt. I put it on right before the video. I didn't think it through, and I'm like, hey, now I gotta put something on the t-shirt. Didn't want to take off my shirt for you guys, but this is also another t-shirt that I've done. I'll actually make another video walking you guys through how to make a full color t-shirt. The machine did cut our vinyl. I used to use this to do all my weeding and my transferring. Now, some guy decided to invent this tool, this little tool right here. This thing is awesome. Makes weeding much easier. I'm actually going to cut the vinyl. We use our little special tool right here. Unlike regular heat transfer vinyl, this is actually special effects, so it's a little bit tougher to weed, but the process is still the same. And yes, it's okay to be a little bit rough on these because the design is already cut and the adhesive that's on this material is pretty strong, so when you put a little bit of pressure or a little bit of muscle into it, the only part that should come off is the part that's already cut. Alright, this is our finished product. Yeah. Right? Stay humble. So now I did make two of these. So what we'll do is we'll cut it. I try my best to keep my office as clean as possible, but after each order that I get, it's a mess in here. So you want to clean up your area. Luckily this is a very small order that I'm currently doing with you guys, so there's not much of a mess, but sometimes I have 10, 15, 20 orders depending on the design, and it gets crazy in here. So I'll go ahead and I'll throw this up. My heat press is currently set to 375 degrees, which yes, is a bit high. However, I have a few different jobs that I run, and I have noticed that that temperature works for me. Before you actually apply that same temperature to a material, confirm that that is the temperature set for that material. Other types of vinyl require different temperatures, but for this specific type of vinyl that we'll be using today, 375 is perfect. Okay, make sure it's nice, smooth, and you want to do one press without the design on it. There's a few reasons for that. One is that if there's any wrinkles in the shirt or whatever material or garment you may be printing on, it gets the wrinkles out. We have our design ready. Stay humble, everyone. Okay. And I have a whole bunch of rulers in my office here. We'll be using that. The purpose of the ruler is, I believe they actually sell a tool for this too, but the ruler does the job, and remember, we try to save money, time, and whatever else it may be. Position your design. Okay, I have a pretty good eye for it. So nowadays I just kind of make sure it's in the center and let it down. You want, a lot of people will tell you differently. I go about 4 fingers from the opening of the shirt. Some people will tell you 3, some people will tell you 2, some people will tell you 5, but me, I go for 4. I want to make sure the design is centered on both sides, which is where the ruler comes in. Okay, so I have 9 centimeters here and 9 centimeters here. Now, as I mentioned, I've been doing this for a while, so I have a good eye for it. I just want to make sure it's straight. I know it's centered, and now it's also straight. Okay, if you have Teflon sheet, it's perfect. You have a sheet of Teflon right here. You want to apply it over your design. Alright, and simply press your design. Okay. Now, I currently have the timer set to 10 seconds, which is more than enough for this specific material. But again, you want to confirm that with the different type of material you're using, that's what the time is on for. Very hot, very, very hot. But yes, you should be able to peel your design. This is a hot peel, right? You don't want to let it cool down for too long. And there you go. We've made our first shirt. See, I'm currently wearing the t-shirt that we just made. Right, and that concludes our video. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Let me know what you think of this video. Subscribe, like, share, tag a friend. Also, the link to purchase this t-shirt will be put down in the description. Thank you and have a blessed day. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. It's at Steck Designs. That's at STEKDESIGNS. Boom, on all social media. I'm out of here. SteckDesigns.com. Y'all go check me out. Check me out though.